Hey everybody, this is Encounters. You're tuning in to the late night UFO spiritual talk show, Encounters. I'm your host, CmdrAleon, with you tonight on the number one and only number one UFO talk show, because this is a talk show. There's no other talk shows anywhere on TikTok in terms of a talk show. This is a actual talk show. Welcome, Jan, David, Shannon, good to have you with us. Cheryl, we hope to do some interviews with people. We're going to try to do a couple interviews with people that have had encounters, visitations tonight, and we'll see if we are able to do that. Tomorrow night, don't forget, is our big contact night. On Friday night at 11 p.m., Encounters will be communicating with Geico from their spaceship through radio frequencies, and possibly they're able to go through the TikTok. We'll see what happens with that. So welcome to our show, everybody around the world who are coming in here. If you're new to my show, welcome. If you're not new, glad to have you back. Cultural commentator, thanks for the likes. Ron French, Trent Guzman, Bew. Hey, Courtney, good to see you here. Cheryl. You got a phone call. There you go. Danielle, everybody coming in here, welcome. It should rapidly fill up pretty quickly. Take a seat wherever you are. We have a big studio here, so everybody take a seat on the ship here on Encounters. Hey, Gerard. Hi, Commander. Have we done the protection blessing tonight? We're going to do it in a minute. Once everyone gets in here, we are going to do an Ashtar Command blessing for the room. We're going to put a really strong blessing within a mile radius of my area. And that's always important to do. So in the mile radius of my area, as a matter of fact, I'll do the blessing now as people are coming in. I ask the Ashtar Command and the ship above me, that is about 10,000 feet above my location, to put a tensor beam of protection around a 1 mile radius of the area. I'm asking that the command also infuse energy into my TikTok room to clear out any negative energies that might try to come in or disruptive energies. I call the Ashtar Command to bless every single person that comes in this room, that this show, Encounters, is protected always within the very foundations of light. There you go. That's simple. Hey, Ada, good to have you with us. Kevin says, I study a 1AD time period, things you cannot Google. Interesting. Hey, Chesno. Hey, Linda. Welcome, everybody around the world. Patricia Ann Fry, I think it is. Zen, that's a good name. James, thank you for joining us. L1NZ1, good to see you. Travis Jones, 2027. And I bought a whole gallon of cider the other day, and it's great. Hey, Province, good evening. I have my app here. I'm going to talk at a normal tone, not to wake anybody up. Yep, we're drinking. Hey, Jeff, we're drinking. Hey, Judy. We're drinking the cider. Yep, that's my drink. Cider is my cosmic drink during the show. Always. Unless I run out of it. Hey, Corky Nuins. User 874, welcome. So I was looking at a Bashar video. I don't know when it was produced. I think it was not too far ago. A new one. And I saw a UFO before ABRA. I saw a UFO before. Yeah, so we're going to interview some people. If you've never been on the show and have been interviewed by me, the host of the show, I'm also a talk show host of WESU's Pacifica Radio, Ashtar Command radio show for over 20 years. I'm also a conduit for the Cosmic Christ, and also a C5 coordinator here in Connecticut. You're new. Good to have you with us. Good to have you with us. Let me see here. And we will follow you. UFOs are real. I think we're going to have you abracadabra. Yeah, abracadabra. You're going to be my first guest on the show tonight. So we're glad to have you with us. Christ is very cosmic. If you don't know the cosmic Christ, man, you're missing out on it. Christ was the most cosmic thing that came to earth, was the cosmic Christ. In religion, they look at Christ as not being cosmic. But you see, I've studied religions and they don't get it. Christ came here from the stars. He was a star seed. He was a lighter. He was enlightening. He was busting the system, but they didn't like it. Yep. Jesus definitely is a cosmic being of light. From Mars, let's see. Crazy Life, welcome to the show. Good to have people here from everywhere, all the new people. This show's on usually around 11 o'clock at night, most nights. Sometimes we do a daytime morning show. Stephanie, good to have you with us. Toby Lee. I am the Commander CmdrAleon. I almost said Commander Ashtar, which I'm not Commander Ashtar. He is his own commander. Hey, Joe Melton, good to have you with us. Thank you for the follow. Ely, I think it's Eiley or 363, welcome. Sandy B. Connection. That's a good name, Connection. Alley Cat. Chewy. Tiffany. I see all these great people coming. Lori, welcome to our show. You're watching the number one, if you're new here, the number one UFO talk show on social media. Also, you can watch all my shows recorded here live on my YouTube channel. So write this down. Ashtar Command Spaceship News. I'll repeat it. Ashtar Command Spaceship News. All my shows are on there. So if you miss a show and you've never seen my shows before, watch them all. They're all good. You'll have some interesting things to see. So I'm really psyched about contact now. I'm really psyched about the things that are going to transpire on our planet soon. Well, they already are starting to transpire on our planet right now. But as soon as I get this radio that I hopefully will get for the holidays, I'll be able to set it up next to my broadcast here. This particular radio, I believe, will help me have Godico contact through my radio here. And it makes sense he would want to do it because I'm right here, and he connected with me through the Alexa app last month. So it makes sense to me that he would try to communicate through radio frequencies here, which means that their ship would have to be in a coordinate in an area that would connect with the AM frequency that they were going to use. So when I do that, when I get the AM radio, I'm going to talk and adjust the radio and move the frequencies around till my voice comes in clearer. When that happens, that'll be a key frequency that Godico can actually communicate with me with. So I understand all this stuff. Now, how do I understand all this stuff? I used to be a hammer operator. But this is all new to me in terms of understanding frequencies of where to go with a person on a spaceship, But I'm learning quickly. Hey, Julie, good to have you with us. I'm learning very quickly. My mind, my consciousness. Are you dropping $3,000? Not really. The radio is not that expensive. I wish I had $3,000. I think you are. I am the frequency. You know what, Grace? I think you're absolutely correct about that I am the frequency. That's why he's able to communicate. But the radio is weird. Like, I am the frequency, but I can also use the radio to my advantage. Being I am the frequency to connect with him, I can make the radio connect with him too. Very good observation, Grace. I never thought about that. Can I tell you, hey, Don, good to see you. Can you tell me more about being in the Space League? Well, I don't know if there's a league. Can you define? Hey, Don, you want to tell me what you mean by the league? I'm not sure what that is. Thank you for the roses. The Space League. I don't think there is one, to tell you the truth. But I do know, you're right about that, Grace, that I am definitely the frequency. You learn a lot more about yourself as being a frequency. I mean, we're all frequencies. Actually, really, when you think about it, every single person in here is on a frequency. And some of you who have contact with your space brothers and sisters, you're operating with them on a certain frequency to communicate. Hey, Purple Warrior, welcome. Nanda, welcome. Federation of Planets, Justin Campos, yes. The Federation of Planets works within the great galactic levels of light with the Astro-Galactic Command. They all do, actually. They all do. Sometimes I want to show you the messages I get. Interesting, Kevin. Good evening, Johnny Miller. Everybody coming in here. So we're going to have a great show tonight on a Thursday night near towards the weekend. Good thing. Good thing. Hey, Kathy, good to have you with us. And everybody come morning glory. A lot of good names here. Pawn, Anthony Hillman, just 666 Beast Mode. Good to see you, man. Everybody coming in here. Wally, 69.5. User 287. John Cotter, answer me. I saw your question, John. I saw your question. Let me go backwards. I think. Or maybe no. Do you think they're ETs? Yes. Do I think who are ETs? I see the question. Do I think they are ETs? Explain to me, what do you mean by do I think? I might have missed something. Do I think who are ETs? Who are they? Are you talking about, yeah, hey, L1 and Z1. So, John Cotter, I'm going to ask you a question. What do you mean, they? I'm waiting for a response so I can answer the response. Good evening, Teresa. Good to see you. There are no they. Let's put it this way. If your question is about, I don't know who they are, because you haven't clarified that, these purported intelligent beings, they're not purported intelligent beings, they are intelligent beings. Let me tell you something, John. I'm going to blow your mind here and bust your matrix. I don't know where your consciousness is, but let's put it this way. There are different levels of extraterrestrial consciousness. You ask the question, I'll give you the answer. The answer is there are many vibrational frequencies of extraterrestrial intelligence. There are lower vibrational beings. There are higher vibrational beings. There are beings that are in between higher and lower. There are beings that are Christed beings of light. Those would be in the higher realms of consciousness. So the beings that we communicate with are Christed beings of light, beings that are light beings that are very more advanced, more intelligent than the human population. Spiritual beings, more advanced in their consciousness than the average human being. So I'm giving you a whole bunch of answers here in one big answer. So there's no they are space people from other planetary systems. So there's no they and we, no us and them. We're all connected. There's no separation. The only separation is the separation the mind makes, the human mind makes, in terms of the subject. Sometimes you got to tell the human mind to shut up, and you got to go within and meditate. And when you meditate with your higher self, you'll understand every single aspect of what I'm talking about. So there's no they, but there are we. We meaning we are connected to all that is, everything out there. And everything out there is connected to us. And when everything is connected to us and we're connected to them, there is no they. Throw they out the window. Just throw it out. Throw that word they out the window. That's my answer to your question. And that's right. They're not all bad. As a matter of fact, a very small, minuscule amount of the lower vibrational beings do what they do. But, on Earth, we have human beings that are not good either. We have human beings that create war, use nuclear bombs like they did in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. We create wars, we kill people, we pollute our planet. Talk about who's good. We need to get our act together. We need to clean our planet up. We need to get our act together. What does that mean? Think which are the good ETs and which are the bad ETs. Well, look at your own backyard in the mirror and say, who's the good human and who's the bad human, right? Take care of our planet. Look what we've done to the Mother Earth, a living, sentient being. We've bombed her, we've polluted her, we've polluted the waters on the planet. We've done so much killing on this planet, and we talk about who are the good people and who are the bad people in space. Nah, man, it doesn't work. Got to take care of our planet. Got to become good people. There are many good people here, but we have billions of people on this planet. People suffer, people die, people have nothing. And we talk about who's good and bad in space. Who's good and bad in space? Nah, man, we got to get the act together here. That's why I came to this planet, to bust the matrix, to wake people up. No, I think that's what you're doing. You're thinking too much. And you say, I think we are. Your mind is saying, I think we're being deceived by fallen angels. What fallen angels? Where are you getting all this stuff from, man? Fallen angels. What fallen angels? Look at the world we live in. Look at what people do with each other. They're not fallen angels. They're human beings that are killing each other. It's been happening for decades. We blow nuclear bombs up and kill people, like I said, in Hiroshima and Nagasaki on this planet. And then you're talking about fallen angels? Come on, man. Wake up. Wake up, John. There's a lot of garbage out there on the internet about fallen this and fallen that. No, don't be deceived by the garbage and the illusions of lies on this planet. Wake up. I'm going to shake your mind up. Wake up. That's what I do here. I'm glad you're here because I want to shake you right up to the core of your belief systems. That's what I'm here to do. I love the word wake up. Do you believe in God? Of course I do. Why wouldn't I believe in God? God created the whole universe. God created everything. If you believe in God from a religious perspective, get out of your religion. I don't know if you're Christian, Catholic, I don't care what you are. Once you get rid of your religion and your belief systems from religion, you'll be free. And God does not live in a church, just to let you know. God does not live in a mosque. God does not live in a religious group in some sort of church. That's a lie. That's been the teachings of a lie on this planet for years. And many earth people believe it. So a lot of people believe in God. Do you have to go to a church to believe in God? Oh, good. You agree. There you go. There you go. That's what I want to see. I mean, I'm definitely here to answer your questions because you're going to get to understand my perspective. Also, the other part of it is because I come from Mars. Yes, indeed. Martian, human being, born human, Martian, Christ consciousness. I understand. I've been there. I've been through earth-based religions. I grew up in one. But I busted out of it. I've seen the born-again Christian religion. I've been, in the Jewish religion. I've seen it. The Lutheran religion. I understand how they operate. I do. I saw UFO before. I want to get you on Abracadabra. You're going to be my first guest. I have a feeling you have an interesting story to tell. I'm pressed the guest button there. So we're going to have Abracadabra join us right Counters.
Hello, good night.
Okay.
Good night.
Well, let me turn my volume up here. I think I'll put the headphones on. Let me see if my headphones are actually charged up. Well, we'll see what happens here. We'll put them on. All right. Okay, we're putting these on here. Can you hear me?
Hello? Yes, I can
Oh,
hear
there.
you.
Good to have you on the show. Where are you calling from? I'm not where you're calling from. I'm thinking of radio. Where are you? I do radio. That's why I say where are you calling from. Where are you located on the planet?
I'm in USA currently in Georgia right now.
Oh, great. And so, can you tell me about your experience? You said you saw a UFO. When was that?
Yes, I'm from Jamaica. I'm originally from Jamaica. Yeah,
Okay.
when I got my experience, I was in Jamaica, just sitting on a bridge, chilling, me and my friend. We was about to go home, and the lights from a younger age, put it like this, from a younger age, I just always have an open mind.
Hmm.
I don't just believe like I should just believe in what is being taught, or what is just like more to this world. Like I
Yeah.
always amazed with the sky, like
Yeah.
what's on the earth, what's down here is boring. I want to look up, I want to know what's going on above me.
Yeah.
Like my mind always out, and I always believe like there must be other human being, like with
Hmm.
this Bible thing and everything that they're trying to, religion and everything. I always think that there's something else that they're
Hmm.
not telling us. And then I'm like, me and my friend sitting this night, and I saw the lights. The formation go right around. It's very huge, very
Hmm.
huge. And it was close. And I'm looking at
Wow.
it. I'm like, this really happening? I'm not toxic, no liquor or anything. I'm like, yo. And one mind said to me, don't see it alone. Show your friend, because he was right next to me. And I'm like, look. And he look up, and he start looking at it, and like it stayed there for like 3 seconds, and then it just took
Wow.
off. It's the fastest speed I ever experienced, with
Right.
no
That's right.
no sound behind it. It's like no one else here, no sound, and we start to run. And I'm like, yo, that what we really just see, I'm like, that's a UFO, yo. And we really finally see it, because me and my friend, we have a strong belief. We always researching about aliens, UFO, whatever they want to
Yeah.
name it. But yes, I got that encounter, and I started to look on life and earth and everything different. I'm not going to say there's not a God, but not Jesus, or what how they want to say it with this Bible man written thing. I don't believe nothing of what they have to written
Hmm.
and teaching. I believe we can do more as human being with our
Hmm.
brain and our knowledge, and there is
Hmm.
much more to this earth. And I
Yeah.
just start think different and look on this world different.
Hmm.
Yeah.
No, it's a beautiful thing because well, there is God, but religion has distorted God. God is really universal. God is like everywhere, and God created all the planets, all the solar systems. So on Earth, we have a very warped understanding of God because of all the religions. Throw the religions out, and God is universal. Jesus was really a cosmic star being from the space, but religion has him as something else. But from a cosmic perspective, if you look at Jesus on a non religious perspective, and I teach people that Jesus is a star being that came to earth just like starseed. You hear the word starseed, and many people in this room know what that is. So you come from another planet in human form, you're a starseed, and that's what he was. And then
Right.
he left on a spaceship. But they
Right.
don't teach that in religion. They teach you about this warped belief system.
Right. I believe there is a God, and Jesus, or however they want to name it. But I have a more belief of spaceship and UFO more
Right,
in it, like that
right.
involving more, whether it's gonna be a God or what. But what I saw that just open, like there is a God, but there's more than what out there telling us. There's just more
Right.
information to it. Like, even if put it like this, because some people gonna say it's fake. Whether if it's fake or not, I saw it, and that speed, what I experience is nothing of earth, with no sound and the
Right,
size.
because you know what the one thing is there are people, less people now than 30 years. 30 years ago, there were people that would say, "Oh, no, that you didn't see anything. That was a plane, or that was swamp gas in the sky, over Jamaica or whatever." The thing is, 30 years later, everybody's interested in the subject now because it's become a big thing. The Department of Defense created a UFO organization within the Department of Defense. So all these things have amped up the subject matter to the point where people are interested regardless of their beliefs. So when you say, people would think you were this or that, there's very little of that. There are that small percentage, even on social media, that would be like thinking it's a joke. But now the majority is the people here in this room on encounters. We're the majority. Things like this are a topic every single day now. News media, people like News Nation, they seem to be one of the only networks in the U.S. that covers UFO area stuff. Most of the other networks don't want to even talk about it. And so, because I have a media background, I look and see what the TV networks are doing when it comes to stories regarding visitations, ETs, UFOs.
Right.
And they really aren't doing a whole lot. So, but here, that's why I created this talk show, and I came on TikTok because I have a background in radio. I've been a contactee since the '60s, so I have in-depth background in all these areas. So I can talk and answer most questions people have when they share their experiences here.
Right. So you ever saw one before?
Oh man, people on here know. My first contact was in the 1960s. I went up to my brother's room, opened the cul-de-sac, the wooden blinds, and I've said this story before, which is a true story. A flying saucer was hovering in the cul-de-sac, and I saw space people, men, women, and children in a spacesuit. They were light blue suits, and they were beautiful people, just like us. And they had a central energy system, a light system in the center of it, and they communicated with me telepathically as a kid, saying I'm not from the planet Earth. But I have had many, many, many over the decades, many experiences. Two experiences in the 1980s where one was a huge spaceship about 2 football fields in length. I've had a lot of experiences. Yeah, that's why I can talk about this.
Wow. Yeah, always
I'm glad you came
interested
up
and
here.
just curious to talk to someone that. Yeah, because most people that I talk to and try to share my story with, they never they never saw one, or they might saw something that they don't sure, but I never yet come
Yeah,
across someone that yes, say yes, I saw a UFO, like.
yeah.
So I
Oh well, if you
always
stick around,
have
if
question to
you
myself, like,
yeah, if you follow this show and become a regular
should I
follower,
talk?
a lot of people have had stuff happen here. Yeah.
So I have question to myself, like, should I even share my story? Should I talk about it? Like, is there a reason why I saw it? And those questions.
Oh yeah, you should always share your story, because even if they don't believe the story, you're putting the thought in their mind. Now they have to start thinking about it. Don't think they won't think about the story, because they will. They'll walk away, maybe not saying they believe you or not, but they're going to start thinking about the fact that you had an experience. You know?
But my answer to my response to those who don't believe is like, well, just remember I told you, because I know someday, well, whenever they're ready to show themselves more, just remember I told you.
Well, we're going to have contact. If you're new to the show, it was originally 2027, but I believe we're having. You should watch my show tomorrow night. I have contact
Yeah.
with people from the star system constellation Sirius. They contacted me through the Alexa app in my daughter's room about a month ago through TikTok. Well, not through TikTok. I was on live here, and I turned the thing off. And we've had incredible things happen on the show with a being called Godico. He's from the star system Sirius, and they're in a big spaceship, and they're in the Earth's atmosphere now. I don't know where they are right now, but they are. So I'm having direct contact, which is nobody on social media is doing that. Between me and my friend John Connors in Arizona, you should come on tomorrow night at 11 and listen to the show. watch the show. You're going to see some really crazy stuff go on.
Well, I appreciate you having me sharing my story, and to all the people on the live that don't believe. Well, I'm telling you, my experience, I saw an UFO before. And as I said, sometimes it have me wondering, should I even say it, because how real it was like. And that have me like just thinking again, like there's really more to this world. And a lot of people don't know. And it's just lucky for who really gonna get encounters and really know for real that yes, it's for real.
Yes. Well said. And we're glad to have you finding our show here on TikTok. And you're welcome to hang around and listen. I'm going to bring another person on. And I appreciate your story. It was great.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And my next guest, whoops, let me do this here. My next guest is going to be Star. Star, I'm bringing you on. And we're going to bring Star. Thank you so much for the gifts. Star is my next guest. I love doing one-on-one interviews with people.
Hi,
It makes it so
Commander.
much better.
Yeah,
Hey, Star.
yeah, I've been on before.
I know you have.
Yeah, and like I've had several. The first time was when I was a child, and I still have memories. I still have very distinctive memories of my experiences.
You don't forget them, do you? Like I said, I don't forget anything of my experience when I was a kid. It stays with you forever, right?
Ever. And the thing about it, Commander, is that I get sad about them because they were like very special occurrences. I feel sad sometimes, like
Yeah,
I want to repeat it, like I want to go back wherever they took me. I want to go back there.
yeah. Well, that's really weird. Are you getting noise on your end of your side of it? Are you moving something around?
Well, actually, I had my radio on, my AM.
Oh,
I had it on,
okay.
and there was some static earlier.
Some static.
I know when they're around. I know when
Yeah,
they come. They knock. They make like a knock, and
yeah,
then you know they're around. It's like
yeah,
yeah. And as many times I say, look, I want to go to sleep. They want to come around during sleep when you want to go to sleep.
yeah. They do.
When you're winding down, and I've had to say to them, no, I want to go to sleep. And
Yeah.
but they don't have to show themselves,
No, they don't.
so they
They
just
basic. They can come around and be totally invisible and right next to you.
yeah.
Yeah, the ones that are from the higher frequencies do that. They'll just be right there observing and just be totally incognito.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And during the day too, I've felt them around. Oh,
Yeah,
here's another. I have a backyard with lots of trees and lots of
yeah,
things, and
yeah,
I know when they're around just by the
yeah,
tree. I know when the animals know when there's something around. They get disturbed by some of it, but you know when there's an energy around that is
yeah.
not. Yeah, I'm
No,
not
it's
afraid. I'm not afraid of any of it.
mhm.
I'm not. No.
Nothing to be afraid of, If you know who you're communicating with, that's one of my teachings here on the show. When people ask me about, how do you know who you're communicating with? Yeah, if you ask them, are they Christed beings of light, and they don't respond, that is a red flag. If they say we are, beings from the planet so and so, and but definitely are Christed beings of light, you'll also be able to feel the energies of those beings. So people who are watching this, please ask me questions because I can help you figure out the differences between the different vibrational patterns of our space people. I mean, that's really important. Knowing the vibrational patterns of the space people helps you understand who you're communicating with. If you go into this thing blind, not
Hmm.
knowing what you're doing, you don't know who you're communicating with. But if you
No.
don't go into this thing blind and you learn the different vibrational patterns, you can make sure that you're communicating with someone who is of the highest level of light.
Commander, last week there was a contact. Remember when um, there were different colors in the sky,
Yeah,
and Yeah, and I took tons of pictures that night. So I
Mm-hmm.
went looking at all of the pictures. There were two where they actually showed themselves, like their
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
I have that photograph. I have two
Oh,
of them.
interesting.
And
Interesting.
yeah, I literally have their face. And there's other beings with them. There's other people with them. I call them people. They're people
Yeah.
for me.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually showed who they are.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure everybody can see them. I think certain people can and certain people can't. But it
Yeah.
was automatic.
I think it's meant for certain people. Like you might be connected with that level to see it, and like I
Yeah,
said, maybe and just like anything else, not everybody's going to see the same thing or have the same experience.
yeah.
So I absolutely believe that's
Hey,
true.
and they're beautiful. They have these beautiful eyes. Um, it was in green.
Hmm.
The color was in green. So I'm
Yeah.
assuming they were green. And they have these beautiful eyes. They're beautiful features. And they look like very peaceful, loving, kind people.
Yeah. So I mean, you had that experience. So
Yeah.
you're sharing something of great light to people here that might not have had that experience. That's what I love about this show. Everybody's experiences with non-terrestrial beings is different. And I think it's like every chapter of everybody's story is so different, so unique. I think it's just amazing.
I think Guideco really has messages that he wants to give us.
Oh, he does.
I think there's a reassurance. I think they want to reassure us of some things because I think they know we're kind of sitting on the edge here in the world with all the stuff that's going on around us, and
Yeah.
I think they want to reassure us
And
that
I
we're
wanted
going
to
to be all right.
respond. John Cotter says, I think we need to be skeptical. I think it's good to be a healthy skeptic, which I am because I do a UFO show and I do a radio show for over 20 years. I do C5. I've got a good background in the subject.
Hmm.
But the time not to be skeptical is when you know. See, the only time I'm not skeptical is when I know who I'm communicating with. So I have no skepticism about my contact with my space friend from the star system Sirius. I know who I'm communicating with. So I have no skepticism. Like if I see something or video, I see lots of videos that people send me from my Astro Command spaceship news. I look at it with a very objective standpoint of the video. I check everything out in the video. If I don't think the video is something real, something not real, but something that is a spaceship or something, I usually won't post it. If I think it's real, I'll examine it really closely and post it. You have to be a little bit skeptical, but being a healthy skeptic, not just being skeptical. Being skeptical cannot be healthy if you're not a healthy skeptic, meaning that you know what is real, you know what you're doing, and you know what is not. So with John Cotter's thing that you have to be skeptical. No, you don't have to be skeptical. You just have to be basically awakened to know what you're dealing with, what you're looking at, who you're communicating with. And the subject is so vast when you're dealing with the subject of ufology that you don't have to be just skeptical. You have to be awakened.
Right.
You can be skeptical for the rest of your life and not even know anything's going on. That doesn't get you anywhere either. So I have to be skeptical. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to be anything. You just have to have your eyes open, look at the stars, and then as you're looking at the stars, hopefully you're going to see something that will blow your mind. That's not from this earth. Yeah, skepticism is not a negative thing. It's definitely something that we have as human, with our human mind. We have skepticism, but I don't think people should be totally skeptical of anything. I think people also have to realize that not everything is as it appears to be. You know, it just so I'm just trying to answer John's comment about skepticism, being skeptical. I think if you're a healthy skeptic, fine. But if you're totally just going to be skeptical, you're never going to find the truth because then you're going to be skeptical of everything and you're not going to know what's what and what's who and what's where. Yeah, Ashley's right. Use discernment, Ashley. That's absolutely
Yeah,
correct.
discernment. She took the word right out of my mouth. It's discernment. But here's something else too. Um, I also think that there is a kind of telepathy as well.
I
I
mean,
see.
telepathy.
Yeah, yeah, telepathy between us and them. There's telepathy. I think they open up the channels for us and communicate with us via telepathy.
Well, Godico connected with me through my Alexa app in my
Telepathy.
daughter's room.
Yeah.
He was not using that. He was communicating using music through the. It
Oh,
was a
okay.
Billie
That's
Holiday.
another way.
That's
Right.
not telepathy. He was using music. He came through my TikTok through static. The static was building up. People was running. What's all the static? I didn't
Right.
even know what was going on. That was after it happened. So I've had direct contact with him through radio frequencies, not telepathy, through the radio frequencies.
Right.
He communicated the other night. He's now learned to speak English. I heard everything he said. I understood everything he
English.
said.
That must have been interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, he spoke English, and I understood everything he said.
Right.
Um, they are able to, if they want to, he can
Right.
probably turn my. If he's right, if he was ship was right over my house right now, I have no doubt that he can turn my TV on. And I've talked about this the other day.
Right.
I want to ask him if he can come through my TV so I can show him on on my TV screen through my TikTok what they look like on their ship. I believe they can do that. I'm absolutely certain that that's possible. My consciousness has shifted so much in the last few weeks of what I know and what I think is possible that it would blow people's minds.
Mm.
Because over a month ago, as much as I know what I know, I had no idea of what I know now. And I know a lot more now than I did before. A lot
Okay,
more.
here's another way of looking at the discernment process or the critical thinking process. Is that we're interacting with beings at a much higher level. So let's say our logical level, our reasoning level, is not going to be a match with their processing. If you
Right.
my drift,
Right.
so we can have powers of discernment via our critical thinking, but we could miss a lot that way as well. So,
Yeah.
like you say, I think
Yeah.
being open to possibilities,
Yeah.
yeah, because their level of processing is very different. It's not the same. It's
And
not
they're
going to,
affected, and they're also affected, Star, by what we do. You know,
yeah,
they can even mimic what we do, but there's certain things that we don't want them to mimic. That's one of the
exactly.
things.
Yeah.
When it comes to tomorrow night, one of the things I've come to the conclusion about tomorrow night before we start contact is that we have to act as ambassadors of our earth. You know,
Mhm.
there's a responsibility we have as human beings here now. We have to be the best of ourselves. What does that mean? That means that we have to, now that we're talking directly to them through frequency, not channeled communications, la di da di da, I'm channeling somebody. This is not channeling. This is coming directly through from their
Mhm.
spaceship, taking over frequency to communicate, which they can do. And the fact that they're able to do that tells me that that is as direct communications. The only other direct communications would be having a ship land in the field and have them walk out of the spaceship
See
and we
what?
meet
Yeah.
them in the field.
Yeah.
And that is going to happen.
Mm.
I don't know when, but I do feel Godico has told me in so many words that I'm going to take a delegate. I'm going to have a delegation of people with me, I hope, and we're going to go on a spaceship. I don't know. The spaceship, the drawing of the ship is beautiful. How we go on the ship could be many different possibilities. They could beam us up on the ship. They can land their ship. I don't know how that's going to work yet, but I'm actually future casting. I don't usually future cast into the future like this, but I
Okay.
do. That's the only thing that I will do right now. For some reason, I know this is going to happen,
Mm.
and I've shared it on here on my show that there's going to be a time when I'm going to put together a delegation, including two of my friends in our CE5 group that are not on TikTok. They don't use social media. My co-coordinator of our group from over 10 years ago. So when we get our delegation together, it's going to be the right people to come together and go on this ship. So I feel it's going to happen soon. I don't know what that means, but I keep feeling it almost constantly now since we've had contact with Godico. I just feel very strongly about it. You know, I can't even back out of what I feel, you know, because if I deny my feelings about this, I'd be lying to myself. and I can't do that. I wouldn't be good for me. It wouldn't be healthy. So I do know that we're about to, at some point next year, I think it's next year for sure, we're going to be invited to go on the spaceship that they're on. And I'm very excited about that. I don't know anything about how that works. I know what I know, what I know, and what I don't know, I don't know. What I don't know, I don't know. And it's a whole new paradigm now. It's a whole new paradigm.
Right. And it's a whole new learning experience and a whole host of other things. I mean, just to be in the company of some other being that's not from this planet is pretty interesting. Yeah. I mean, to be aware of it, not that you were abducted and
right.
you were frightened and
right.
But you're aware of it and you're ready for it. That's another experience. Yeah.
And John Carter says, do we know why they haven't given disclosure to the masses? I can answer that question, John. So for over 70 years, the DOD and other agencies around the world similar to that have hushed everything they know about non-terrestrials or people from other planets. They've done it for 70 years. They're starting to tell you little bits and pieces at the DOD with they have their UFO group in the DOD now that is looking at cases. Now, I don't know how they go out and look at cases where they knock on your door and say, "Did you see a UFO? We're from the Department of Defense. We want to know what you've seen up there." I would assume they go out and do some stuff, but I don't know that they do a whole lot. So we're not waiting for anybody to disclose anything in Washington when we're having encounters right now. You know what disclosure is? Tomorrow night, when you hear us talk to Godico, we are talking to people from another planet on board a spaceship directly. And I guarantee you, we don't have to wait for disclosure. I'm not waiting for it. They're not waiting for it. The people from the star system, the Syrian Sirius star system constellation, they made the contact, initiated it. We're not waiting for it. We're doing direct communications through radio frequency right here, right now. People, do you realize that? So when we think about it, what's funny is when people say to me, when are we going to have disclosure? Watch this show tomorrow night and tell me what you think afterwards. Tell me
I'm not
what
missing
you.
it. What time?
Tell me
what time is that going to happen?
We're going on at 11 p.m. tomorrow night, East Coast, 10 p.m. Central, 9 Mountain,
I'm
8
Central.
Pacific, and 3 p.m. if you're in Australia. That's tomorrow night.
I'll be listening.
You don't want to miss it. Yep.
Oh, I won't. No, I won't.
And if you're a skeptic, if you are a non-believer, it'll be very hard pressed for you to tear this apart, because you're going to be hearing the space being talk through a radio frequency, an AM radio frequency.
Wow.
Hey, Maria.
Yeah.
I've been promoting this for a little bit. I had a new video I promoted this morning, giving a picture of the idea of what they look like. And they're tall beings. They're about 7 feet tall, the men and women. They have a very radiant bluish color to their bodies. So they're but other than that, they're very, very evolved. Actually, in one of my shows on my YouTube channel, you can hear the music. They're not Dracos. No, these aren't Dracos. These are from the star system Sirius. They have nothing to do with Dracos. So, but anyway, they are about 7 feet tall, and they're in one of the programs I did just recently. You'll hear them playing and creating space music. So when you listen to my last show or the show, one of the two shows before that, listen to when John Connors and I are on together during the show, and the space beings start playing space music. They love music and they play space music. And that's what they did.
Yeah.
And so you're going to want to, now I don't know. I mean, I'm going to ask them if they'll play some of their music. They create it through the sounds of frequency in space. They're able to create the music, and it's pretty amazing. It really is very amazing. I'm going to bring, I'm bringing two people up with me. Well, thank you very much, Star, for
I love
coming
this. I'll be back and forth, but I'm definitely going to be here tomorrow. And Thank you for allowing me to commiserate with you this evening.
Absolutely, always a pleasure. And
Yes.
that was Star sharing some information, and she's been on before. She's a great guest. We're now going to bring on more people. I'm CmdrAleon, the host of Encounters, the UFO late night talk show here on TikTok, the number one UFO talk show on social media. If you're not here, you're square. So join us here. And I'm going to see if I can, who's coming on next here. From around, there's somebody from the planet Rabbit.
Boys
Hey,
and
James. Good
girls,
evening.
children of all ages, this is CmdrAleon's Encounters.
Yes. You sounded like Orson Welles there at the very end of that Encounters.
Encounters.
You sound like Orson Welles there for a minute.
When they come to the planet, they shall bring peace and prosperity to all mankind.
I love it. I love it. Very good impression. How you doing, James?
Fantastic. I hope everybody is well. I hope everybody's been watching the skies because there's been lots and lots of activity.
Yes. And it's going to be
Some
more.
of these videos are getting hard to really dissect as to what's fake and what's real.
Yeah.
As CGI and AI gets better, oh boy.
You really have to know, you really have to know how to discern. John Cotter, official disclosure. I don't think there's ever going to be an official disclosure. The disclosure is coming from above our planet. We have a person asking about disclosure. So disclosure is coming from the space people on their ships above our Earth. That's disclosure. Don't wait for the government to disclose anything, because they're going to
throw crumbs at us.
Yeah. Basically, that's what they're doing. They've been throwing crumbs ever since they started their UFO organization in the Pentagon. It's just little crumbs, throwing little crumbs at us. That's what they do. That's their whole thing.
Well, I think next year we're going to get a lot more disclosure, because next year I think they're going to start tracking the money. And once they start really seeing how much money is being funneled into these black projects, people start to wake up.
Oh, yeah, because they are. Let's welcome Vega Star. Vega Star, I remember you from the morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you? Or good afternoon, evening. I'm sorry. You said that and it triggered me.
Yeah. I'm glad to have you on. So I know you've had experiences. So tell us where you are, and say hello to my co-host, James. Can you tell us a little? Yeah. And tell us about what you're going. You mentioned a few things.
I'm 50 years old, 49, and was first contacted when I was in 1980.
Mm-hmm.
And
how were you contacted?
I was actually abducted. Yeah, I still show the signs of it, and didn't really have a lot of memory recall until I got into my 40s. But I've got a little cut, a little scar on my wrist that's on my right wrist that's very indicative to that, and I feel energy move through it all the time. And I'd basically had never been turned on because they implanted me when they did that, and I'd never been turned on until about 10 years ago, or really it's been 8 years ago. And now for me, the contact is constant. Chatter is constant. I hear it all day long, every day.
Wow. Now, you say the chatter is constant. This is very interesting. This is Encounters. I'm CmdRAleon, your host. My co-host, James, is here. So can you tell us, when you hear chatter, did they open up your consciousness to hear things beyond the Earth in your mind, or what is that all about? Can you explain it a little bit?
For me, it's more of a technical thing. I believe that it's part of it is that what the ETs use to run the world is the matrix. That's how they communicate. That's like their telephone. And that's what became so very loud for me all the time. And you pretty much can hear like what you're talking about on what the AM frequency is what I pick up. But especially if I go past air conditioners or fans or anything producing like a white noise sound, I can always hear the chatter going on.
Yeah. Is it like a static to you? Like when you say white noise, is some sort of a static?
It's different. They all have different person. They have different personalities, but some of them have the exact same personalities. You know, they're some of them are just are your typical clone personality that's going to be like this. Just your atypical type personality is mixed into a
Yeah.
group, and there's usually a leader amongst them. I usually see little short blue guys with black
Hmm.
outfits since I've
And
been a
what do
kid.
you and what do you feel about the people that are blue with the black outfits? What vibrational pattern of energy do you feel like they're okay? What do you feel about those? That's kind of interesting.
They're mischievous over anything, and they seem like they're almost like kids in a way.
Hmm.
That's but they're definitely from Sirius. They like to beat around the bush, and they like to play that they're from Zeta Reticuli a lot. They all the time are like ramming at me, like because I can hear them and I can communicate with them telepathy wise and stuff too. So
Hmm.
this is like they're like we know each other.
Right. Now, do you feel that the ones that are blue beings from the star system Sirius that you've encountered, do you feel that they have a message for you, or that there's more than just them watching you? Have you ever tried to communicate with them and find out, they came here from so and so? How can we get to know each other instead of you looking at me? Can we, have you tried to have like a interaction or talk with them?
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, the conversations have been full time all day, every day, basically since for the last 8 or 9 years for me.
Really, 8 or 9 years?
Yeah, like
Wow.
literally never. The conversation never stops. They're just always with me. That's why I think with the implant, they just will always be with me. You know, it's something I had to
Hmm.
come to grips with. That was always going to be happening. Always, always.
Hmm.
Abducted.
So,
What, James? James, you were going to ask a question? Go ahead.
Was he in when he was abducted?
I'm sorry.
The station.
I was
You're breaking
about
up, James.
When I was about 5 years old. I lived in a very rural area, and I remember laying in my bed, them asking me if they wanted to visit, if I wanted them to visit, and I'm like, who? And they're like the aliens, and I'm like, sure. And this energy like basically hit me in the head so fast. I just remember like a light basically running at me so fast that basically by the time I had the thought, they were already there.
Wow.
So, and I live in a high energetic area. You know, part of where I live, and I think the chatter is so high, is I live in Alabama, right above the 33rd parallel. So,
Interesting.
there's a high amount of chatter that comes through here that's coordinates with what's going on in the Middle East or what's going on um, along those lines. And we have a really high connection to Machu Picchu here too.
Really, that's interesting. Tell us why that is. Why is there a connection to Machu Picchu?
Well, it's my
That's
belief
interesting.
that a lot of what I've done is I don't know. Have you ever heard of Orion Mystery School?
No.
Mystery School is like a program. So basically, what you were asking before, I'm sorry if I'm going back and forth, but you were asking before what these little folks are here doing.
Yeah.
And in my belief, in a sense, the Earth was created in culture by the Anunnaki. So these would have been their children, in a sense, coming back to kind of play with their grandparents' relics. So they
Yeah.
come here a lot of time to play with programs that are still installed. I mean, basically, once you become good at being able to manipulate the matrix, you can change time frames or areas or
Yeah.
from wherever you are. So a lot of times, what I find is they're here to kind of toy with what was here 40,000 years ago.
Yeah. And that's also a possibility too. Like we look at the planet, we're billions of years old on this Earth, yet we've had our frequencies go up and down the vibrational patterns of the planet for billions of years. There have been times when we've been very advanced, and now we went through a low period, and now we're going back up into a higher frequency status as a planet. That's why there's so many Earth changes and stuff going on. We're getting to that point where something grander than we know is going to be happening on the whole planet. And that's why all these things are happening. The volcanoes in Iceland, all these things, all these earth changes are part of a greater change that's going to be happening on the planet itself and off the planet itself. So it's amazing.
Yeah, and I agree with that from that standpoint. I will say from the time in which this started with me, I basically have not been sick for 7 or 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
Not even a cold.
Oh, beautiful.
Can I ask, once your memory started activating, do you remember what their ship looked like on the inside?
Yeah, I sure
Yeah.
do. In fact, the first thing I remember when I was young was the flashes that I would have. It would be like I was there, like almost in parallel. Would be almost like the inside of the Millennium Falcon, or like that scene from, or the inside of the ship from Hitchhiker's Guide from the Galaxy. It's just really round, really large white pillow type couches and walls, like on the walls,
Wow.
so impact, so you wouldn't impact it. And then the
Hmm.
one that picked me up was more C-shaped, and when you got inside, it was a smaller, more like a transport, and it had a gyroscope in the middle, or a sphere in the middle in which it was driven.
Hmm.
But it's weird because it worked like a map too. It would show you like where you
Hmm.
were and where you could drive to. So it was like a sphere that was a ball that rolled in the middle of this kind of oval, not oval, I would say circular bowl almost.
So the actual ship. This is really fascinating. Getting an inside story about you went to the physically in the ship. So the ships were very comfortable. How big was the inside? Was it bigger than what it appeared to be on the outside?
Huh. Yeah, no, I would think maybe less so. It would seem more cramped than less cramped.
Really
Yeah.
interesting. So when you're on the ship, you can sit there. Now, when you're on the ship, you're traveling on their ship. Did you feel uncomfortable? What was it like as a human being on a spaceship of people from another planet? You say there was like was it comfortable seating? I mean, how did that work?
Well, I think from my memory, I was asleep on a couch a lot of the time,
Okay.
and but a lot of it has to do with. I mean, I believe that there's a reason why I was turned on, and it was really, we were kind of like placed here in a time frame that's
Yeah.
unique that I've been told about, and I guess I feel like there was a recorded solar flare on Proxy Centauri B, which was within the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that that was a link to us.
Hmm.
So when that happened, almost exactly coincides when basically my system turned on and they started talking to me. So
Oh,
to
so
me, it's like,
that's what activated your system.
yep, and that was that's 4 light years away, and that was our closest Goldilocks. And if it took a solar flare like that, it would have eliminated any civilization there.
Yeah.
So if we were all basically walking up the stairs of a school in a sense, through ascension, then it's possible in my mind that, and I don't even think it's possible, it's what I've been told, that basically they fell off the ledge in a sense.
Yeah.
So we kind of got moved forward in a sense of we have a lot more responsibility now than we were going to have this lifetime. All
Oh,
of us.
the vibrations were shifted. Everything went up.
Yep, and it almost exactly coincides with the solar flare that hit Proxy B Centauri.
Wow, interesting. James, do you have any other questions for our
Yeah,
guest?
I was gonna ask, now that you're in current communication, is there any indication or message of, mass contact, or maybe when they might arrive here? Any indication of that?
Well, from that sense, they've never really left. They've
Hmm.
been here the whole time, and there's people
Right.
that are, I think, a lot of times that are like me that are have been here a lot longer than what we may believe we're here for. Maybe I wasn't picked
Yeah.
up for anything other than maintenance, and You
Oh,
know,
I think I think you were much more than maintenance. You were there. You're bringing back a message from them to us. You're sharing their message of your experience. They want you to share this. So not maintenance, man. You're a messenger.
yeah. Well, thank you. My name's Matthew, so that fits, doesn't
Matthew, Matthew the messenger for the Syrians that you connected with. Beautiful. Yes, you are a
Yeah, and
messenger.
I speak a lot with Vega. The first thing they ever told me is that I was a diplomat from Orion from Mintaka. So,
Huh. Interesting.
yeah.
Very interesting stories.
Yep, I'm very visual too. I basically having a vision at all points. So I'm can look at like the crop circle that I have on my picture is something. If I stare at it for a while, it's sort of like one of those pictures where you the old dot pictures where you
Uh-oh.
look at
Oh.
the hidden things inside of it. So if you kind of stare at it for a minute or two, then images start to appear and become animated.
Oh, wow. Interesting. So you not only have you been activated, but you've been really activated. I mean, everything you're sharing is beautiful because it's telling a tapestry. It's a tapestry. There's a story here about these beings, and obviously they're positive. You encountered positive contact, and you are a messenger. I mean, obviously, if they ever they're always communicating with you. You can always telepathically be downloaded the information from them. I mean, obviously, in
Yeah,
that
and
level.
I actively program. So I teach matrix to people, and I actively program within the matrix and have programs that I've created my own on my own.
Oh, really? Great.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
that's what they're showing us. I have a lot of videos on my account, and I'm on a lot, so I would look forward to being able to talk with you often.
Yeah.
And the Huntsville Space and Rocket Center is very close to where I live too, so there's a lot of that
Oh,
chatter
wow.
on.
So
But
that space center in Huntsville, did they ever have any interference from, or not interference, but did they ever have any encounters with the non-terrestrial spaceships?
not the ships you really don't see. What you really detect here is more underground movement.
Hmm.
What I think you
Oh,
find is,
underground.
yeah, Huntsville is the home of the largest underground cavern system in the world.
Really?
If not, maybe the country. I know it's one of the two.
Hmm.
So them wanting to be there seems pretty apparent.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, there's a reason, right?
Yep. Yeah,
Well,
and a lot of what you pick up here too is, especially with the Anunnaki, is the Native American connection with those people. And once you start searching through programs like I do, you find that the Native Americans really knew more of what was going on than was ever
Yeah.
elaborated on.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the Hopi elders, they knew of the star people. A couple of the different spiritual elders from the different tribal areas throughout the West and everywhere. They have a great knowledge of that. A
Yeah.
really complete knowledge. Pretty
Oh, and
amazing.
I consider this continent was originally known as Mu. I think that it gets put in the wrong place, but I think America
Hmm.
was originally Mu. So a lot of that Atlantis connection comes through here. Atlanta's close to us, so yeah, it's very close in name. I think that's kind
Hmm.
of not a
Hmm.
coincidence.
And they also talk about in California, there's an area that they said was remnants of the land of Mu. I can't remember where it is, somewhere in Southern California, I believe.
Yeah, well, and
Right.
if there's a lot of things that I think people miss in some of the original things, and this is something you'll never have heard. This is direct information that you've never heard. But if you look at the word like Atlantis, Atlanis, what do you
Yeah.
have in it? It's proof of that computer world. You've got local area network, LAN, right in the middle of it, and IS, like information system.
Right. Interesting.
So the word Atlantis contains LAN, an information system. So local area network and information system, what was the AT?
Yeah. Kind
And
of kind of
look at
crazy.
things like Amos, especially in the Old Testament, speaks a lot of serious And if you look at Amos, it could be, if you look at the Zeta Reticuli type thing, maybe Alpha Mensa operating system with the word
Interesting.
Amos or Moses.
Amos.
Yep.
Hey,
Yeah, you know.
Matthew, I wanted to ask, you said that when you were activated, you stopped getting sick. Did you have any other physical attributes or, maybe did your brain processing get quicker or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm smarter in thought, not in talk. So I can really, really rapidly think, and really, really, my IQ is exceptional when it comes to that. And I was already an exceptional IQ person as far as school goes. I was, when kindergarten, I was 165 or something like that IQ. So I was already high IQ, which may have gotten me kind of looked at. But in the other sense of the conversation, I'm basically feel the energy. I'm basically feel like I'm touched all the time now.
Did you notice like a manifestation of all good things happening to you from that time to now?
Oh man, no, there's a lot of something that might have taken you 50 lifetimes you start doing within an afternoon,
Right.
and when you get that turned on, and strangely enough, and at the time when this happened, when I got turned on, I was working in the heavy equipment business and selling forklifts, and a new plant was opened in the Huntsville area, and it was Polaris. And when I got turned on was when I was in the Polaris plant in Huntsville, Alabama.
It's
Wow.
kind of weird with the name Polaris.
Yeah,
Totally,
it is.
I'm familiar with their ETs as well. They're not very familiar with the Syrians. They're not. They come from two different walks of life in a sense, and so Syrians and Polarians get along, kinda. You
Hmm.
usually need Orions to get in between them, kind of to keep them from kind of getting at each other.
Hmm.
I'm very
Interesting.
familiar with all of them and do Anunnaki High Council and stuff like that as well. I've got Native American blood, so I think a lot of it comes down to that.
Yeah. Right. That could be a lot of it. The Native American indigenous
Now,
blood that you have.
Commander, is the Anunnaki Council is separate from the Ashtar Command, correct?
In my
Uh,
belief, I would say Ashtar Command would be Lyran.
yeah, the Astar Command is actually overseeing. This is the thing over the years of internet and Facebook and all these things. What was that? Between Facebook and all these things, that when I teach about the galactic things that are together, and people have asked this question to me before, I tell people look at the Astra Command as the galactic United Nations of all the planetary groups. So it's like the highest level without any ego. It's the highest level of spiritual light, and they oversee all the galactic groups. So there's no separation of one group. On the internet, there's been creations of separations of what each group is, but it's basically all. It's a great question. The Ashtar Command actually represents all the galactic planetary systems, and they all work together. They all do what they do, but they all
Like
work
Galactic
together on
Family of
the
Light or Galactic.
yeah.
The reason
Like
I
the family
ask
of
is
life.
because I've heard of these other groups and other types of federations, and I'm coming to believe that the Ashtar Command operates in the highest of light, and then there's other subgroups that maybe not might be so connected to that consciousness.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's like not like on Earth you have like the White House, and then you have the Department of Defense, you have the Department of Justice. On Earth, they have these things broken up into things. So look at the Ashtar Command is overseeing all the galactic groups, meaning that there are different levels, but the groups are still operating in a high vibrational pattern. It's just that they're different levels doing different things, but in the end, it's all connected to one thing, which is the Creator. It's all connected. There's no separation. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
It does to me, but you have some that are just absolutely just not obedient to any sort of frequency pattern at all. The Greys could care
Yeah,
less.
there are. Yeah, that's there. Then yeah, the lower so I'm not talking about those. Yeah, you're right. Those lower frequency beings, vibrational beings, have no connection to that. What I'm talking about. that's the other end of the spectrum. That's the other end of the coin. They're doing their own thing. They're not connected to that high frequency. Absolutely correct. To make it more specific, But it is, yeah, there's two different coins. There's one coin operating in the galactic frequency of light, and the other coin is you have the other beings that are working not in conjunction with the coin. They're doing their own thing, and not always the best thing they're doing, and they're just doing it and knowing, that's what they're going to do.
Well, and
Um,
that's the big riff with Polaris. At least Polaris would have it be a collective consciousness basically everywhere, and where you basically would go into a town and you would speak to their collective in a certain town. Like town A would talk to the town B through their collective in kind of a digital spiritual manner, basically out
mhm.
loud and outside.
Now, right now, as we're standing here, my um, my earbuds finally tuned up to everything. I'm hearing everything more amplified, which is kind of interesting. That's how I hear things and kind of weird stuff. But it's pretty good now. I mean, everyone sounds really good. You always did. I just noticed that the amplification, I checked my little thing here and it's green, so everything just been popping up in amplification. So, but other than that, get back to what we're talking about. Is that somebody else like James number two?
Commander,
It sounds
I
like James
have a
number.
message from beyond.
I knew James had a James number two from beyond the James number one.
So James, are you someone that channels or communicates as well?
No, I was just joking. I don't believe in channeling. I don't do portals. I don't do none of that stuff.
He does. My co-host doesn't do that. He was just taking on my thing with the earbuds
Now I
going
do.
louder.
Now I do. I can access instant knowledge from source, but I don't believe that that's channeling because I'm not being given a message.
No.
Well,
I
I'll
don't
tell you
channel
one of
either.
the interesting things that kind of tuned me into this at first, especially matrix switching, was I was doing Uber for a while, and I would come home and I could watch Friends for if I watched a Friends marathon, God forbid, but nonetheless watch it for 24 hours. The next day, my ride pickups would be basically Ross and Lisa and all the names from Friends, and I started
Yeah.
toying with it, and I was like, well, what if I watch Star Wars, and what if I watch this and that, and it started working like that. So then I started realizing, my favorite band maybe is the Grateful Dead. So what if I am in the Grateful Dead matrix today? And then, not even coincidentally, in my mind, the next day or two, all my pickups would be people with Grateful Dead T-shirts on, or some pothead or something like that. So that's the people get in their mind that the Matrix is evil. It's
I
really
think that's
not.
the synchronicity of the universe.
It's
Just
just what the
saying, hey.
phone is.
Well, with the Matrix, I've always stated I'm here to bust the Matrix. So when I say, and there's different concepts of what it is. The Matrix I'm here to bust is the Matrix in similarity to the movie The Matrix. So the movie The Matrix, if you watch the movie, how it was really created when they made some of the movies, with Keanu Reeves, it really shows you, it's really telling us there's a matrix that we have to realize that is trying to create a false narrative, meaning the matrix is out there to create a thing where we're supposed to follow this particular matrix. There could be other types of matrix that are different, but the matrix that I'm here to bust is the matrix of illusion, the matrix of
Well, in a
people
sense, it's
following.
like this in my mind, at least, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
It's like a horse race, and the Matrix is like somebody throwing scripts at a movie producer,
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
that's why I got into the programming aspect of it. Is
Yeah.
that I kind of was bullied for a while by some of the uh, societal type things like
Yeah.
religious voices and secret society type things. And
Mm-hmm.
I found that, is a horse race, it's like, for instance, I'm not a Taylor Swift fan, but she's definitely got her shit all over the planet right now. and
Yeah.
that's a product of something pushing that in the matrix, And is it
Yeah.
is she evil
I've
or
got to I've
dastardly
got to
or any of
warn you.
that? I don't know, but I think it's just to sell music.
I think we don't mess with the Swifties on this show. We don't mess with them because they're all in the chat right now. All of
The
our
Swift.
Swiftie fans are here with us.
Now that you said Swifty, John, I am now hypnotized. I'm no longer me. You just changed my matrix. Do you realize that? I'm just kidding with him. But
Well,
it's
for me, it's like a radio I'm flipping through all the time. I may change it
right.
10 times on the way to the grocery store.
Yeah. For me, when I'm going to work or whatever, or traveling somewhere, I listen to music. Not on the radio. I listen to music that I choose to listen to, like George Harrison. His double album, which was really very spiritual. Where he talks about, Bangladesh was one of the songs. Yeah, all these songs that he created very consciously, and things like that, kind of growing up through that period of music. I think we have someone else who wants to join us here. I'm not unaware. Skip to Grace. Let's bring Skip to Grace up. She's a new person. Let's see if we can find out where she's from. Hey,
Hey,
Grace. Well, hey, welcome to the show. Nice to have you. Can you tell us your name?
what's going on? I can't hear you guys.
What do you mean you can't hear us?
What happened?
Hello, welcome.
Are you,
You
Grace?
knew
Are you kidding me?
Wait,
Grace,
what
are
just
you
happened?
serious? Or are you just kidding
Hello?
around? Are you serious? We're right here.
Hello.
Okay, well, I'm going to do a test here. Grace, can you hear me? I got my crystal set up here, and I'm going to see if Godico's here. Godico's a space being. I'm just going to do this test here. I don't think Godico's here, but I can be proven wrong. Godico, are you here? Godico. I'm serious. Godico, are you here? Wait a minute. What the heck is going on here? Godico, are you here? Everyone turn their mics off. What just happened? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is that you, Vega?
Doing what?
Were you just going shh?
No, that wasn't me.
Okay, mute your mic for a minute. Okay, let me test something here. Godico, are you here? Godico, are you here? I don't know what happened to Grace. Godico abducted Grace. Godico, are you here? Please respond. I'm listening
If you
very
want me to
carefully.
start tapping, I could start tapping.
Did you hear anything weird? What happened to Grace?
She said that her TikTok froze up.
Oh, your TikTok froze up. Grace, I'm going to try to bring you back on here. It's really strange. Okay, let's see. I'm going to see what happens to her. Okay.
Hi.
Grace, can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's not working.
Is
Grace,
it
can you
working?
hear?
I thought you were kidding around. Is she serious?
Can you hear us?
No, she can't hear us, man. She was serious.
Maybe
Okay,
she's
everyone
got
go
a
on.
bad connection.
Maybe. Everybody go on mute. I want to do something again. Godico, can you hear me?
That's so weird.
Godico, can you hear me? Are you
Well,
there,
it's not
Godico?
working for some reason. Can you guys hear me? Type it in the chat.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
I absolutely
Oh
think
my god, I
something weird
can't
is
hear
going
them.
on.
Hold on.
Wait a minute.
Whoa, did you hear that?
I heard that. Did everybody hear that? I swear I heard something different.
Wait, I heard it. Shh.
Is that a car or truck going by?
No,
J- James, did
no.
you have a
This is
car going
this
by
is
your
my
house?
voice. No. Here, I'll mute.
Okay. Gatico, are you here? Hold on a minute. Gatico, this is CmdrAleon. Are you actually listening to our broadcast right now? Please give me an indication that you are. Please give me an indication that you're here. Gatico, please give me an indication. I think I can hear you. Oh, wait a minute. What the heck is going on here? James, are you all
Grace
right?
just dropped out.
Okay.
Just ETs being ETs.
Well, no, we have a connection. I don't know if you know this, Vega. We have a space being that I came through my Alexa app about a month ago, named Gatico, and he
You
has
know
been,
what? I'm gonna plug my Alexa in.
yeah, and he's been contacting me. It started a month ago, and we're communicating with him tomorrow night. You're going to want to listen to it. They're on a spaceship in our atmosphere, and they're from the stars. They're from the Sirius constellation. So I never know when I'm on here now. When I come on here now, I never know. When something weird happens, I have everybody mute their microphones because I don't know what's going on. I could swear I feel a bit of energy here that's different now. Anybody in the room, be honest, did you hear anything weird the last few minutes?
I
Grace
can
is
try
trying
to
to
pick him
come.
up if you want.
No, he'll definitely come in. Grace is coming back in here. This is Encounters, and it's 12:27 a.m. I'm your host, CmdrAleon. So I'm feeling some energy here.
Hey guys.
Grace,
Can
can
you
you hear
hear
us?
us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys now. It was so weird. I could hear myself, but I couldn't hear any of you.
Yeah, it was weird. Grace,
Grace,
did you hear anything?
Grace, do you have something playing in your background?
No, nothing.
Really?
Wait,
What? Don't
listen.
don't say anything.
Leave your mic on, Grace.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Godico might be coming through your application. Godico, are you there? Godico, if you can hear us, please speak. Please speak. Godico.
That was really weird, Grace. There was some other noise coming
There
over
was
your
some.
mic.
I swear. Yeah, I heard it.
The heck could it be? I mean, I'm sitting quietly in the house. Nobody else is in the
It sounded
room.
like a TV playing in the background.
Yeah,
Wow.
and Maria said she heard some static. Now,
Oh,
when Godico came here, the first time Godico came on here, not by radio, through the TikTok, we had static. You remember that, James? When we had the static, and then all of a sudden you heard the
Yep.
voice.
Mm-hmm.
that's
But it was a
interesting.
woman's voice.
Yeah,
No, because I was
I hear it.
typing. Oh, I hear it now.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm hearing it right now too. Do you hear an airplane or something going by? You don't have any airplanes, James, by your house going by or jets?
Now I'm gonna mute my
I don't hear,
phone.
yeah, I don't hear anything now. So this is what we're trying to do. This is the one thing we will do is we use discernment. We don't just jump and say, "Oh, that's." We're trying to be really careful that we're knowing what we're doing. I heard jet noise too.
Yeah, and there's no jets going over here right now.
Nobody has jets going over anything, right?
No, it's quiet. It's quiet here.
That's
It's
that
like
white
it's the
noise
night
sound.
before Christmas.
Yeah, yeah. We
And
don't have any.
all
I just want to just let the person say about spirits. We're not doing. There's no spirit communications here. It probably is our space connection. Yeah, it won't be any spirits. It's strictly our connection coming from the spaceship with Godico. He can come in here anytime. They can interfere with our TikTok communications, radio transmissions. So a number of people know what it sounds like who've been here before. Um, Sounded like a plane with a swishing. Yeah, it sounded like a plane to me too, with a swishing sound. And I'm saying, oh, it's got to be a plane or a jet. But everyone says that there's nothing going by them, so that's kind of
No,
weird.
it sounded like it was coming from Grace's mic.
Yeah, from Grace's
And,
mic.
and was it happening when I was coming in the room before and I couldn't get in?
Well, when you were in and you couldn't hear anybody, that's when we heard the noise.
Yeah, because on my end, I was not able to hear you guys at all.
That was the strangest thing, Grace. I swear, that was the strangest thing I've heard here tonight.
And then I was typing in, "Can you hear me?" and people were saying yes.
We
But
can hear you.
I couldn't hear you guys at all. You guys were like there visually, but no, I couldn't hear you at all.
What was that? Grace, there's people talking in the background of your mic.
Yep.
I've got you in my ear so I could hear everything. It sounds like there's straight up people.
Do you think it's reverbing?
No, there's no reverbing. It sounds like someone else is talking.
I
It's
did
like
hear
it,
something. I
it,
did
it,
actually hear something.
it's like they're using your telephone to communicate with us. I don't know why they're doing that, but it sounds like that's what's going on right now. I swear. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't say anything, Grace.
What the heck?
What the heck?
Weird.
Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Godico, this is CmdrAleon. Can you hear me? Godico, can you hear me? What's going on here? What the heck? He's coming through. Godico. Oh my God.
What was that noise? It sounded like breathing.
Godico is here. He's coming through. Godico, this is CmdrAleon. I hear you. Godico, can you everyone? Godico, can you? He said yes. He's learned how to communicate through this system without the radio.
What the heck was
No,
that?
that was Vega. He just did that.
Saying, is he praying or something? What is that?
Sounded like he was putting the spiritual protection over.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Okay.
Well, listen, Commander, I muted and then I heard it through your room.
You heard it through me. So that's the thing. You remember when you said I am the direct contact for Godico? John said the same thing. I am the direct contact. He's with me. He's constantly with me. I am actually here. I'm the one who's bringing him in, not anybody else. I told him to come in here if he wants to. Godico, are you there? Godico, please say something. Godico, please say something. Everyone just mute for a second. Godico, welcome to our show if you're there. I am here. I am realizing that I am the center antenna of communications between you and your spaceship. So Godico, if you're here, I know you've been speaking a little bit. Please come through a little bit clearer. Let's see if he comes through. Everybody just stay muted. Godico, can you hear me? There. Okay, I hear it. It's coming through. Mm-hmm. Oh man, it's just okay. Well, I will say this after listening long enough, just for the last 10 or 15 minutes. Grace, did you go off by yourself on your phone when you went down when we lost you, or did it just go down? Do you remember turning your phone off from the live?
No, I had to leave because nothing was happening, so I left.
Okay. Oh, you left. Okay, I just want to make sure you left and it wasn't just.
Was like completely. It was malfunctioning. Like something was malfunctioning.
Yes. So your phone was malfunctioning. When you say it was malfunctioning, like was it ready to like do something weird?
Well, it was very odd because it was like I was floating in time and space because you were there, but then you couldn't hear me, and
Yeah.
We could
I
hear you. You couldn't hear us.
Yeah,
oh,
we
that
can hear you.
so that's what people in the chat were saying because I was saying, "Can you hear me?" And people were typing in yes, but I couldn't hear you guys at all. And I went out. I had to close the app and then come back
Yeah.
in.
Okay. So your phone, and again, this is I'm trying to figure this out. Your phone was starting to act weird, and we were able to hear you. Everybody here on the show was able to hear you, but there was also some weird sounds for the last 10 or 15 minutes coming in and out, like someone else was there. And I hear it is. I hear it again.
Is that
James, is there
coming
some?
through?
James, is there something
No,
going by
it's
your house?
coming. No, hold on. I'll mute.
When you're muted, James, we don't hear it. When you're not muted, we hear something. And there's no
It's
jets
pretty.
over your, no jets from the Air Force Base going over your house or anything like that, James?
No, no. If
Okay.
I see a jet take off from the Air Force Base, I'm going to say something.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely something weird going on right now. Something very strange is happening here.
Someone in the chat is asking if we use the CE5 protocol from Dr. Greer. Yes, we do. Yes, we follow the CE5 protocol from Dr. Greer.
I use the
Flower,
CE James protocol.
Flower Power said they heard Godico say hello.
And then
Pretty Angel says I felt him coming in before. So a number of people said they felt his energy coming in the room.
So, Commander, was that coming through your other application that's in your room?
What do you mean?
The A thing? I'm not going to say the name because
Oh
I
no,
don't.
oh, no, the thing is off right now. It's not doing anything.
Okay,
Well,
what about you,
if he's
James?
on board off premise, it should just be a digital communication. So I don't know about being presence from off. You get more digital formation like that.
Oh, he'll just come right through. He can go beyond digital. He can just come right in. He
What
came in
about
with static
James?
on our
Did you have?
show.
Yeah, sorry, Commander. What
No, I was
about?
gonna say, go ahead.
Yeah, what about you, James? Did you were you hearing anything at all in your app?
Hearing all
Oh,
kinds of things.
well, Vega's coughing, but that's something else. But
Sorry about that.
Grace, yeah, Grace, it was coming
When
from.
Grace is talking, there's like just a little background noise, ever slightly, coming from the mic.
Yeah, it was.
But it only happens when you're talking.
Yeah,
So, can you hear it right now when I'm talking? Oh,
yeah, a
I
little
Oh,
bit.
yeah.
yeah, I hear it. I can hear it myself.
So keep talking for a minute. I want to see if I can hear what it's saying.
Maybe you got to hit one of your sound bowls.
Happy winter solstice.
Maybe not. I hear it. Let me say something. Don't say anything,
Oh, I
Grace.
hear that.
Godico, are you coming through Grace's phone for some reason? Godico, can you communicate with us? Are you coming through one of our people here on Earth on her phone? Please respond. Please say something. Godico, the reason why I say this, because I realize that I'm the main communicator with you. So I know that we have a direct communications, which I have to realize. Please say something. Not getting a response.
Nope. It's interesting.
Before, there was some weird stuff happening.
Did you ever try to do telepathic communication with Godico?
Not yet. Not really totally. I probably could, but I haven't really done that. I
It does like
probably will.
it does sound like flowing water. That it's true. Ben says it sounds like flowing water, and I agree.
Yeah, like there's like just a little trickling in the background.
Yeah, water flowing. Yeah.
Yeah, it does sound
It
like water.
sounds like
Exactly.
almost like what data like data moving, digital moving.
Now I
There you
hear it
go.
now again.
There
I
it is
heard it.
again.
Yeah, that's like I was saying before. You know, a lot of when I walk past like air conditioners or fans or anything making white noise, that's usually the transmit for the way they talk. Anywhere you get around that, I get around that type of noise, I hear it. So
Yeah,
you know, sometimes a lot of times, first times people start hearing what I type of things that I hear is when you like lay next to a fan when you go to sleep at night or your air conditioner's running.
yeah,
And if you start listening to that white noise, you'll hear it. It's there.
yeah, yeah. It's so many beautiful things that we learn about in terms of our own surroundings, right? But this is the first time, like I said, it was really prevalent earlier, about 20 minutes ago when you were on, Grace, or when you started coming on. All of a sudden, we started hearing things other than you.
Well,
And
you know what? I'm going to say something, Commander. So I get ringing in the ears. I get like a low pitched hissing or sound in my ears, and that's what it reminds me of.
okay.
That sound.
It's funny though, when you talk, you can hear a little bit of it coming through. For some reason, when you're talking, it's not a reverb or a amplification of your voice. It's something else that's happening.
Interesting.
I mean, I have my earbuds on, so right now I'm totally amplified in my ears. I hear every speck of sound that's coming through my ears right now, and it's really amazing. I can hear a pin drop with these things
Does
on.
anybody else get ringing in their ears in the chat? And there's also, I did a lot of research on that, and I told you guys this before. I was tested for all types of things, and nothing came up. No, everything was negative. But I know there are a group of people called they're called the Watchers. I think they're called, or no, I'm sorry, listeners. And they say that there's a slight hum that goes on constantly, and it's a big group of people that hear the same hum.
Hmm.
Anybody else experience that?
Yeah, actually, that sounds like exactly what I was talking about. I experience all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been having it for years and years.
Hmm.
I hear the chat. There's, like I said, conversation going on all the time that most
What
people
the
can't
heck?
hear.
I heard that.
And you
Wait a
know,
minute. Wait a minute.
and the first thing you realize is it's not like you having a schizophrenic episode or something like that, because it's all about a bunch of stuff that you have no idea what they're talking about at first.
Hmm.
You know.
Did anybody just hear what sounded like ooh?
I did. I heard that.
Yeah, like
Okay.
sometimes
Was anybody moving anything and went ooh?
that was me.
Oh,
What are you
you did that?
doing?
What was that?
That was me saying that I heard like a woo. I
Oh,
was saying it.
were you?
You're just saying what we just did. So you heard, but we heard a ooh, and you're just repeating. Yeah,
Yeah,
but there was a sound.
I had 777 hertz playing in the background, but
Oh.
I turned it off.
Okay.
Oh, I
So
wonder what that was it.
Do you want to hear it? I'll turn it back on. Hold
Yeah,
on.
Yeah, I
yeah.
want to
Turn
hear
it
it.
back on.
Oh, okay, that's what it was. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Uh,
that was it. And that's exactly what
that's what we were.
you ringing here sounds like.
All right, now we've debunked that whole thing. So there you go.
Sometimes I'm not sure if I'm hearing that sound from the outside of me or the inside of me. It's very weird.
Yeah. Well, when I get this radio that I'm getting, hopefully, by next week, I'll set it. It's going to be set up on the table here, and with John Connors, he's going to have the same radio I'm getting, and we're going to use the same frequency and see if we amplify the communications of Godico through both radios. It's going to be pretty interesting.
Hello, Loretta. Welcome in. Hi, Chris. Welcome in. Yeah, slot machine. That's funny. Yeah. Oh my God. You know, Rich was in the casino business for like almost 25 years, and that sound. Oh man.
Probably
I
hears
can't.
the machines going off in his head.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. You know what? He
Now,
shut it off in his head. He had such good mind control. Like I've never seen anybody like him.
hmm.
Yeah, he had major mind control. He could like completely blank it out.
And speaking of mind control, we have almost 20,000 likes. Now we have 170 people in here. Let's get I want to take a little promotional break here. Please support the show. I have the Galaxy thing here on here. So we have 37,100 followers. Please show your support for what we're doing here on TikTok. Get those taps going. And we're going to pin the Galaxy right now. I'm pinning it. So that means when I pin the Galaxy, if I can hit my goal on the Galaxy, that'll be good. The other thing is, please go to my Cash App and support the show that way. On my main page, you'll see my link to the Cash App for Venmo. So I don't always, I have to remember to sometimes say this, but with the amount of people we have on here, we love having everybody here. If you can't afford to do the TikTok app in terms of a donation or whatever, that's fine too. But if those, thank you for the
There
Galaxy,
it
Jackie.
is, the
Thank you,
Galaxy
sir.
from
That's the
Jackie
first
X
Galaxy.
to you,
Yep, that's the first
Commander.
Galaxy of the night. Everyone's cheering. So I want to see live goal achieved, it says here. Thank you. Now, how did I achieve my live goal? Oh, do you hear that sound?
Are you doing that, James? James falling asleep.
No, I'm right
Thank,
here.
thank you. I know. I figured I bring a little holiday cheer into the room.
Oh,
I
that's
see
beautiful.
the tree.
That
My
looks like a lit up space being that's
my
right
little
behind you.
tree.
Tree two. Hold on.
Grace, that looks like a light being.
It does. It does look like a light being.
It does look like light being. It's very good. And you're watching Encounters. Speaking of light, I'm your host, CmdrAleon of the Ashtar Galactic Command, host of WESU's Cosmic Eye Radio every Sunday morning. I'm also a conduit for the Cosmic Christ Consciousness. I'm a C5 coordinator for the Ashtar Command C5 group in Connecticut. Grace is a part of our group. I'm also from Mars. You didn't know that, did you? I'm also from the planet Mars, and there's 10 to 15 million people living on Mars. So as a Martian in a human form, I'm glad to be here, but I am from the planet Mars that you know of. I figured I'd get that all in a couple of words there,
That looks so pretty.
I thought you had to put a Hell Inky in if you were from Mars.
I had a bit of what?
Hell Inky.
I have no idea what that is.
Oh, Inky is Anunnaki king in history.
No, we don't have to do that. Just people on Mars are very happy, very loving. I miss a lot of them, and they are certainly starting to come onto the surface of the planet. They started doing that a long while ago, and so vegetation is starting to grow back in certain areas of Mars on the surface. But the Martian population is very, very connected with the Creator all the time. They have no hierarchies at Mars. There's no anybody ruling anything. Martian people live in a very communal society, very, very, very beautiful way of life, unlike on Earth. Very different vibrational frequency patterns.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I'm all about Mercury myself. I love Mercury's frequency.
There you go. Well, it's getting towards 1 o'clock. I think we're going to say thank you for everybody being here. You've all been a blessing. Please follow me. Please follow each other. And don't forget tomorrow night to watch Encounters on TikTok. For those of you who have not seen what's happening here, I'm going to blow your mind tomorrow night. I don't care who you are, how enlightened you are. You're going to hear us talk directly to Godico from his spaceship through radio frequency. You're going to see things happen tomorrow night that are going to just blow your whole consciousness apart. Whatever you believe, whatever you think, just going to throw it out your mind and just let yourself be and go with the flow. That's it. All right, everybody. Hey, Vega, good to have you with us, man. I appreciate it. Grace, thank you. James, my co-host, thanks for being here,
Thank
brother.
you, everybody, for
That's
listening
right.
to Commander Alion's Encounters.
Thank you.
Tomorrow
Loretta,
night,
thank you.
Godico comes down to communicate with Commander.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the gifts.
Vegas turn on.
Good
And
night,
please,
everyone.
please keep gifting before I go off. Send your gifts now. Whatever gifts you want to send. Let's see. We're going to have a little gifting thing here. So we want everybody to just jump in there. If you have TikTok coins, go for it. Let's see who can beat it. I want to see who can beat out for fun the gifters here. Loretta's going crazy with the roses. Who else wants to get in there? Anybody else want to jump in there with Loretta and throw something in there? Go right ahead and do it. Let's go for it, folks. We got I love the heart. That's good. We got the roses, the heart's going. What else is out there? I know you got it, folks. Raymond's got something. Oh, that's a hot chili there. That will keep me going to the finger. Hey, the finger heart. I love that. We're getting some things going here. I feel like I'm at an auction here. I'm not even an auctioneer in space. Thank you for the roses. Oh, Loretta's doing Kit Kat's got a snowman going. I like it. It's winter time almost, so the snowman's good. What else we got going here? Come on, folks. I want to amplify you, activate you, motivate you. Look at that. We got a fairy con. I think it's a fairy corn. A fairy corn. What do we call it? Fairy con. Loretta's going nuts with the roses, man. She's going to outdo everybody with those roses. There's, we got 120 people still in here. Man, Loretta's going to be, she's winning the thing here. We got ourselves a Christmas looking thingy there that looks really cool. Jackie's got the roses going there, 1 roses. Loretta's got 122 roses, man. She's going to kill everybody on this thing here. 1 rose from Jackie F. Congratulations. Thank you for that. 127. Loretta, thank you so much. Another rose from Jackie. Jackie has got 3 roses going. Anybody want to beat roses, galaxies, whatever you want to do, whales? Just go for it, man. Just be free and let it happen. Let it go. Let it happen. That's what my philosophy is. Let it happen. Jackie F. has a rose. Thank you, Jackie. Another rose. Okay. And before we go off there, we want to see 1 more galaxy or a whale, the lighty thing that goes through the screen. Somebody has the coins for that. Jackie, thank you for the Earth. We haven't seen that tonight. Thank you, Jessica. We like that one. Said cheer you up. I like that. Okay, I'm gonna just another Earth. Thank you, Jackie F. The Earth is a beautiful place, and to see it in a gift is great. Thank you so much. Well, I think we're gonna say goodnight. I don't see any big galaxies or things being thrown around right now. So everybody have a great night. Have a good weekend coming up. Oh, what is that? Snow? Now that is cool, Trisha. Thank you. That is so cool. That is so cool. Well, I love you all. It's been a blessing. I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. We're going to have a serious thing going on tomorrow night. So we contact and make sure you have questions. If you have questions for Godico, please write them down. I'm going to try to see if we can have a discussion with Godico as opposed to just 1 or 2 sentences coming from him. I've tried to figure out how to do that, and we're going to try to have him speak in a longer period to respond to questions you might have. All right, everybody, take care. Be blessed. This is Encounters. We are signing off for the night.